Next is use Airbnb price tips to fill empty nights. So Airbnb has this price tip. It's called smart pricing. When you go into your calendar and you choose a date, on the right hand side, Airbnb displays a price tip. Although it is usually very low price, ridiculously low sometimes, and people generally do not want to sell at that price. But if you want instant results, if you really want to sell some nights, just choose those nights in your calendar and accept the price tip Airbnb is giving you, and they will get you booking in return very, very quickly because they love it. They understand you're accepting their price tip, which is probably too cheap, and you will get bookings. But use this trick when you have some nights trapped in between, these are called orphan nights, when you have minimum booked nights booked on this side, minimum nights booked on this side, and you have something stuck in between. This is called orphan night. I usually used to do that when I was starting, and you drop the price for that one night because no one wants it for that night. And you can do that with smart pricing, dynamic pricing tool, which I'm going to show you. But until then, just take it that accepting the Airbnb price tip is going to have a positive impact on your search ranking almost instantaneously for that night. Offer weekly and monthly discount. Obviously, more cheaper your property is, Airbnb is going to love it. So try and reduce the prices, offer various kinds of discount. The more discounts you can give, more people will be interested in your property and more it will appear in the search result and more bookings will come. So try and offer smart weekly and monthly, or you can set other kinds of 5 kinds of discounts. You can set early bird discount or late booking discount and all those kind of discounts. Try and offset as many as you can, and it will get you higher up in the search result. Avoid charging per person. Airbnb gives you that option where you can charge for an entire property for X number of people, and then on top of that you can say if there are more people than X, then you'll have to pay this amount per night. What I've seen is when you do this, your property becomes a lot more expensive, although it becomes more practical for you, but for the guest it becomes more expensive, and Airbnb doesn't like it. I've seen listings suddenly drops as soon as you start charging per person. So try and avoid that. Try and give one wholesome amount. This is what you're going to pay, and this is the maximum number of people. It doesn't matter whether you're 3 or 5, as long as you are within 5, this is what you'll have to pay. And it doesn't really, your property, but it doesn't matter whether you have 3 people or 5 people, you're still going to clean the property, you still have bills to pay. It doesn't really impact. So in general as well, I would advise you to mark your property to the maximum amount rather than charging per person. It's a bad idea. Next is frequently update your calendar. Airbnb wants you to be active, and every time you log in and you do certain things, Airbnb watches it. And compared to someone who's not looked at their calendar in last 8 months or 6 months, whereas if you are going in your calendar, visiting your calendar, clicking on dates here and there, they know that your dates are more reliably accurate than the other person who's not even checked their calendar for the last 6 months. So try and visit your property calendar as much as you can, blocking and unblocking a date on your calendar. Just block it for a second and then unblock it again. That is, a solid way of giving an indication to Airbnb that, yeah, I know my calendar is accurate. Try and do something like that. There is no harm in doing it. Next is become a verified host. Obviously, Airbnb does the ID verifications, but there are other ways. There are on top of that where you can get verified. In the next section, I'm going to jump into an Airbnb listing and I'm going to show you all those settings. But try and get verified as many ways as possible. Whatever Airbnb shows you to verify yourself, connect your Google account, connect your Facebook account, connect your LinkedIn account, add a description of your profile, everything you can give. More information you give, more credible, reliable you become in front of Airbnb as compared to someone who's probably never visited that page or has never connected their phone number or their Facebook account. your whole objective is to come up as a more credible and reliable person hosting in that area compared to others. Add host introduction. As I said, go into your profile, and I will show you that. Go into your profile, add about you, what you like to do, where you live, where you work. If you're comfortable with that, try and add as many details about yourself. Add reasonable security deposit. Security deposit does not increase or decrease your level of protection, okay? Because people who are hosting on Airbnb are anyways protected by their 1 million insurance, but it is a good idea to still set a security deposit so people who are coming to stay in your property feel responsible, get a bit of their skin in the game. But if you set your security deposit too high, it's just going to scare people off. So keep it reasonable, not too high or too low so that they don't really care about that. Keep it like, if you're selling a property for £100 a night, set it to 150. 1.5 times the nightly rate is a reasonable amount for people to feel pinch if they misbehave or they break anything in your property. But you are protected anyway, no matter what kind of security deposit you had or you did not even have. Airbnb is anyway going to pay you for any damage that happens. Next is add your Airbnb to people's wish list. Airbnb is not promoting this feature, but there is a thing called wish list. When people are looking at properties, they can add them to their wish list. It's called shortlist, and then they can visit them later and book it. Try and get your property wish listed when you start. Send it to your friends and family and relatives and ask them to add your property to the wish list. It is an indicator for people that people really want to travel, and this is an artificial way of pushing up that interest. Next is a listing title should stand out, and I will explain that more in detail when I open a live Airbnb listing for you. Create crisp listing summary. I will talk about that later. Both of these two things are about generating user interest in your property. Choose cover photo wisely. Put best 4 photos at the top, add external views of the property, allow self-check-in. I won't talk about the add external views of the property and all that, the photos, because I would like to spend more time on that when I'm showing the property. Add self-check-in is something people always prefer. Try and offer your property, which is, try and offer a method of checking into your property which people do not have to coordinate with someone. Okay, they can just come and get in there without speaking to or dealing with someone. That way you will definitely get a lot more bookings. Airbnb also displays you higher in the search result, and they also give people an option to filter only to show self-check-in properties. So you will appear in a lot more search results if your property has self-check-in. Create backlinks is what as I said earlier, it is about getting people to your Airbnb listing from outside the Airbnb. Send the URL of your property to different people, your friends and family when you start. Obviously it's a good idea anyway to show to people and get their feedback, get them to click on it, and Airbnb knows when people arrive on it. If you're active on social media, share it with your fans and followers or friends. Let people click on your listing. More they click, more Airbnb will appreciate that.